Well, Neil, that was simply snooker at its best.
Yeah, it was a brilliant match. There were hardly any kind of unforced errors at all. Both of us played really well. Really clinical, both of us, when we got in. Probably the difference was I had him in a little bit more trouble with my safety that kind of forced the errors out of him. But when I got the chances, I won every frame pretty much with my first scoring opportunity. So it's not always like that. You need the kind of good splits sometimes when you go into the balls. But both of us were able to get splits where we could keep sort of the breaks going. And yeah, it was a brilliant match. And then obviously, capped off with his 147, which was brilliant as well.
It was a lovely touch of you to go and shake his hand, because Mark is.
Well, I was kind of waiting for him.
Well, he's very understated, isn't he? He went to leave the arena, to sort of play it down a little bit, which is his way. But I thought it was lovely that you went and sort of chased after him to the curtain.
Oh yeah, because he went off and then he stopped and then he turned around and he just smiled at me and then he waited for me to shake his hand. So it was an amazing break. It was pretty much nearly perfect all the way, and then a really brave way to play the pink, to just drop it in and then just leave a really high black, and that's kind of always been his style. He's always just made sure he had a pot, no matter what of the black. So it was a fantastic break, and it was nice to be in the arena when it happened, and nice for the crowd here as well.
There was a lovely blend of sort of discipline but also freedom in the match. That's kind of a great recipe for a match, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and especially for myself. I think if I wanted to be ultra critical so far in my season, that a couple of the semi-finals have probably just maybe not given all complete attention and care to playing containing safeties or safety shots in general, where maybe I've just allowed it to be a little bit too easy for my opponent to maybe get in. But today was really good. My cue ball on the cushion was excellent, and it's nice to kind of get in with like really good long pots, but it's almost better to get in when you can play a killer safety where your opponent leaves you in with an easy starter. You
were cueing just beautifully at the end of the match. I mean, how are you feeling, and how do you feel about this season so far? I mean, you came up against an unbelievable Joe O'Connor in the Scottish Open. First of all, what are your reflections on that match? It was kind of fairly unexpected for a lot of people watching, I think.
I mean, if it was played today, I would have won the match 6-0, because I gave Joe O'Connor 5 or 6 easy starters in the frames where the balls were really well placed to win the frames. And he stood up to the pressure really well, and he took his chances, but he should never have had those chances. And years gone by, playing a player maybe who's lower ranked in a semi-final, they wouldn't be able to take the chances. The pressure and the occasion would be too much, but it's not like that anymore. We saw that with Li Pei Fang against me when I'm 3-0 up. And then he's made 3 centuries in a row, and people can say, wow, what a great performance from him. Yes, it was, but I allowed it to be great. He had 2 or 3 easy starters in those 3 frames to start the breaks, something that I've got to cut out. So I know what the recipe is now for the rest of the season, and to go along with obviously the long potting and the heavy scoring, tightening up a bit on the safety, that extra attention and care not to give away easy starters. Hopefully we'll see something like last season.
And there'll be a test next, Mark Selby or Ali Carter. Just on Mark Selby, you've already knocked him out of 2 Home Nations events this season, both in quarterfinals. And you've won your last 7 meetings with Mark, which is, not many people can say that, I think.
No, but, it's just, the way he played in our match in the Scottish Open, he played really well. He had 2 centuries with the 2 chances that he got. It's just that, every long ball I went for, or any long ball that he left me, I knocked it in and won the frame. That's very hard to compete against. So it's not that I don't think he's done that much wrong in those 7 meetings. A couple of them have gone to deciders, where, to be honest, I had a little bit of luck actually, where I probably could have given him an easier chance in a decider. I got a little bit lucky. But it's something I don't think he thinks about too much. Certainly something I don't think about, because it's all on its day. When you're playing top players, when they're playing each other, it's all on the day, and anything can happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. And Ali's a great player as well. Both kind of similar with their tools that they use to create the chances. But I enjoy playing both players. They're great players.
We hope tomorrow's match is as entertaining as the one today.
Thank you.